My grandpa doesn't talk much about the war. He's a Korean war vet, keeps to himself, and spends most of his time tinkering with old tools or sitting on the porch in his overalls, sipping black coffee. But one thing he will tell you, never let anyone bully you off your land. He's lived on the same property for over 50 years, a modest farmhouse just outside town, surrounded by woods and fields. But lately, things have changed. A new development popped up across the road, a suburban sprawl with cookie-cutter houses, golf carts, and the worst of them all, an overly aggressive HOA. Grandpa's land isn't part of their community, but that didn't stop them from trying to make it theirs. And when they sent fake HOA cops to harass him, they didn't know the man they were messing with still had his double barrel loaded. It all started with a fence. A few weeks back, the HOA president, a slick weasel named Trevor Maddox, knocked on Grandpa's door and handed him a pamphlet. Community integration plan, it said. Trevor claimed Grandpa's property lowered the aesthetic of the neighborhood and suggested he comply with HOA beautification standards, a bunch of nonsense about paint colors, fencing, and tree removal. Grandpa responded the way he usually does. Get off my porch. Trevor didn't take kindly to that. Within days, signs started appearing at the property line. Future site of HOA park expansion and subject to imminent domain review. All fake, of course, but Trevor was testing waters. Grandpa, he stayed quiet and cleaned his shotgun. The compliance officers show up. It was a Thursday afternoon when things went sideways. I'd stopped by to bring Grandpa some groceries. I pulled into the driveway and noticed something strange. A black SUV with yellow decals that read HOA Compliance Patrol. Two guys were getting out. Dark polos, tactical boots, radios clipped to their shoulders like they were storming Fallujah. "Excuse me, sirs," one of them barked. "This is an unauthorized structure. We're here to post a notice and assess fines." They were pointing at Grandpa's old barn, the barn that's been there since 1974. I stepped between them and the porch. "This is private property. You're trespassing." The taller guy smirked. "We've got authority under HOA Regulation 6A. Move aside." I didn't move. That's when Grandpa stepped outside, slow and steady, holding something in both hands. His old double-barrel shotgun. He rested it against the porch railing, not pointing it at anyone, just making it clear. "Son, I stormed hills in Korea that make your subdivision look like a sandbox. Now, unless you want to leave in an ambulance, I suggest you walk back to your Barbie Jeep." The short one chuckled nervously. "You can't threaten us. We're enforcement." Grandpa squinted. "You ain't cops. You ain't even security guards. That badge is from a Halloween costume. You step foot past my fence again, you'll leave a footprint and a regret." The tables turn. They tried to save face, back toward their SUV, muttering about calling the county. But it was already too late. Turns out I'd been recording the entire encounter. And while they were busy puffing their chests, I had already called the real sheriff. He showed up 10 minutes later, recognized Grandpa immediately. Turns out they go fishing together. The fake cops were caught with phony badges, unregistered pepper spray, and a binder of violation forms they had printed themselves. One even had Trevor's name listed as Chief Enforcement Director. They were arrested on the spot for impersonating officers, trespassing, and attempted coercion. Trevor? He tried to deny everything. Claimed it was a neighborhood improvement initiative. The sheriff wasn't buying it. With enough complaints and the evidence we provided, Trevor was forced to resign. The HOA is now under investigation for fraud and overreach. Aftermath. Grandpa didn't gloat, didn't brag. He just poured another cup of coffee and muttered, "Funny how quickly bullies back down when someone stands up." He keeps the shotgun near the door, not because he's looking for trouble, but because he knows sometimes you don't find trouble. It comes knocking, and when it does, make sure your double barrel's still loaded.